First off, congratulations, not just on a great game, but also on your daughter in the Community Assist Award.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a little bit about what it was like getting back into the game tonight?
Yeah, no, I was excited. I felt like a kid again, as a 32-year-old, being able to play, in the games after having to watch, after being injured, and the type of injury that it was. I'm just thankful I can play at a high level, and I was able to work out and ramp up to return to play the game I love and help my team.
Was there any part of you, early in that process where it's like, it could be a long time, or what was the concern level?
I was concerned because it's the second time, and I was like, let's just make sure this isn't, genetics or anything like that. So just speaking to the pulmonologists and the experts and just trying to get more imaging and just to get a better understanding, like, was this trauma or do I have some issues that we need to be worried about? And it was a trauma-related injury because of the broken rib or the impact of, getting hit. And it's funny because I got hit going up for a layup against Boston when I was in Portland. I was exposed. I was up, and I got hit. And it was a similar situation when I went for the loose ball. I reached, and I got hit when Trey hit me. But I was a little worried because, you work so hard to play this game, and you don't ever want to have those types of health issues, that extend beyond basketball, right? You want to play, you want to leave your mark, and you want to move on and live a long, healthy, happy life. So I was a little worried, but then once I got more feedback, and then once I seen how I felt, 3 days, 4 days in, once I started working out, got on the bike first, I started treadmill, and I started running, and I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna be fine. And then it was resolved pretty quickly. I was on oxygen, and that was the weird part, right? Being on oxygen, felt like an old person. I was on oxygen for a while. I looked at my wife, and I was like, is this what it's going to be like when I'm older? You know what I mean? Like pushing the oxygen to the bathroom and stuff. But I did that for 4 or 5 days, and then I felt great in terms of my breathing. And then I was just about ramping up and getting ready to return, just trying to figure out when that would happen.
So you're just sitting on the couch with, the mask?
I got pictures, but I probably never share them. My son was like trying to pull the thing off of my face. He was like, what is that? But yeah, it's just, I'm just thankful. It was a interesting process. It gave me some time to just collect myself, to settle, be with my family, enjoy the process of the birth of my daughter. And it gives you perspective. You always reflect through good and bad when things happen. You get a better appreciation of life, a better appreciation of what you are able to do on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't able to go on walks. I couldn't walk my dog. I couldn't push the stroller. I was just sitting in the house just thinking. And I think it's important that we are grateful and have a real unique perspective of the gifts that we have. And I think we all have different types of gifts, and being able to walk is something that we should all be thankful for, being able to breathe without assistance, and so on and so forth.
And CJ, how did you feel tonight? Did you take a hit, like whether running off a screen or something, where you made yourself feel like I'm okay?
I took a couple hits on some of them terrible layups I did, and then the ground as well. But I felt fine. I got protection, and I feel strong. I've been lifted, and just getting ready for the contact that you're going to receive, whether it's expected or not. And once you get on that court, it's going to be what it's going to be. You just got to have faith and trust in your instincts and your skill set, and just play the game at a fearless level.
And Z and JV had near perfect nights. I think they each missed a shot, even though Zion was perfect until there was a scores change. But was that the plan of the attack? No Joel Embiid. You guys wanted to get going inside?
Yeah, rim pressure. Attack the rim. He's a huge presence for them offensively and defensively. Z's unstoppable. JV is very hard to guard. BI finishes at the rim at like 80%. Herbert is a great finisher. So just being able to get downhill, put pressure on the rim, and that helps generate easy threes. Z played basically a flawless game, driving and kicking, rebounding the ball, finishing our basket, making his free throws. JV was great establishing a post presence early. They had to go to zone a lot. They had to kind of junk the game up to kind of figure out how to stop those big fellas down there.
Just you worked your way back in the lineup. Trey's on his way back. Matt's on his way back. JJ Redick on his podcast talked about how shooting begets shooting. You have multiple high-level shooters out there. It makes things easy and fun. Just what's it going to be like having those guys back to add to you and Hawkins and some of the other guys out there too?
Yeah, it's going to make the game easier. And Trey's taking some great strides in his skill set, his development, his strength. He's going to be really helpful. He's going to obviously open it up for everybody. He's going to open up driving lanes for Z, for BI, for myself. He's going to, create shots for himself. He's going to make shots, obviously, because that's what he does. He shoots the ball with range. He shoots the ball well. And then you got more lineups and combinations of lineups you can put out there where you got size and shooting. Obviously, Matt, he's shooting like 47% from three. I'll probably be around 40, 41 before the year's over. So you got a lot of guys that can shoot the ball at a high level and make decisions, and I think that makes it very hard on the defense, especially when they're trying to load up on Z and BI.
Speaking of,
Oh, yeah, I mean, they've been through adversity before in terms of starting off with losses, in terms of injuries, in terms of being in and out of the lineup, playing time. Everybody has a story and everybody has a journey. So, they're battle tested. Guys have worked on their skill set. They've developed. They've gotten better, and I think they've showed it. Everybody from Dyson, to Herb, to Jose, to Naji. Everybody's kind of gone through their own individual battles and collective battles as a team, and I think they show growth. They've shown maturity and ability to kind of overcome different obstacles in their lives.
speaking of, I guess, guys and you being out, what were some of the advantages you can kind of take back from, watching from afar? Sometimes it's hard to see things when you're up close. What are the things that you kind of saw, like, hey, I can help these two, like Zion and Brandon?
Yeah, I think it's just spacing, steadying the ship, right, down the stretch of games. I told them, after the end of the shoot-around, we 6 possessions away from having 4 less losses, right? It's execution. It's thinking the game. We're already talented, understanding who we want to get in certain matchups, play calling. What are we calling the last 2-3 minutes of the game? Like, we got to be thinking about that. And I wasn't here to tell them, and it was great for them to kind of learn on their own. Now I'll be here to tell them. I'll be here to kind of demonstrate. I want to run this. I want you in this action. You get the ball here. So I can help with that stuff down the stretch of games. But I think it's just an understanding of the game. Like, I played for so long. I know spacing. I know spaces. I know where they like the ball at. I know where we can be most successful. Obviously, I got to take care of the ball and do the little things. But I think right away I help with that stuff. And then, it was like, 3 weeks of just me working out and watching film. So it's a nice break for the body. It's a nice break for the mind. So come back a little bit more fresh, a little bit more pep in your step. And when you work a certain type of way, it's easier to transition back to playing.
The team qualified for the quarterfinals in-season tournament. Just when you all found that out, presumably last night, like, just what was the general vibe of finding out that you guys are advancing? And then I know you talked about how you're going to be probably clear to fly by then, past the 4-week mark. Was there any concern that you might either have to miss that or find a way to bust yourself out there or something?
No, we had looked at the schedule 2 weeks ago, and obviously I'm a part of the competition committee, so I know the schedule before it comes out. So I had a pretty good idea of time. We talked to the pulmonologist, talked to the team doctors, our staff, and once we knew I wouldn't be able to fly right away, we looked at the dates, like, okay, well, what about these dates? And we had gotten clear before, but it was just a matter of whether or not we qualified. Honestly, I watched the last 3 minutes of the Dallas-Houston game, then I went to sleep. I didn't know where we was going to play at. I just knew that we was in. And I woke up, and the Warriors had lost, and I was confused because they was up by so much when I went to sleep. And then I found out we was going to Sacramento, so I was like, damn, that's a long flight. Could have been playing at the crib. I could have been in my bed, but, it is what it is.
I have a quick one, please. Really quick. We came all the way down from South America. What can you say about the globalization of the game and the future stars that might come from South America or region?
Yeah, no, I mean, the game is at its peak right now in terms of global impact. You look at the types of players we have in our league, where they come from, the countries they represent. You look at the last few MVPs. You look at the finals. Historically, right, you got European players. You got players that are coming from all over the globe who are impacting the game and becoming stars. And then you got the NBA as a whole, strategically, playing games in different parts of the world, strategically trying to develop talent in different parts of the world. I think it's great for our game. I think it's great for the sport. My brother has played overseas for 12, 15 years, I think. And I've watched a lot of games. I watched most of his games, and I think the way the game is played abroad is beautiful to watch. It's skill, it's development, it's, getting the most out of the least at times. And I think it's really great for our sport, and I wish we would adopt a lot of, the habits of what I've seen in international basketball.
Thanks, CJ. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.